Hi YouTube, it's Kathy, and today I just wanted to clear something up. I have a weird last name. You might have noticed that. You might have actively tried to never say it in your life because you know it's not going to go well for you. And that's totally fine. That's what's been happening all of my life. It can also be spelled this way, 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 and I've never actually met another Trithard who spells it my way, although apparently I met another Trithard who spells it this way once, but I don't remember that, so it doesn't count. So the way I pronounce this name is Trithard. That's how it's always been pronounced to me from my family, and that's what I'm going to go with. But I am going to preface this whole ramble about my obscure last name by saying that just like with GIF, JIF, and JIFE, it's subjective. You can say it how you want, and it really doesn't change the meaning of it. If you have this name and you pronounce it any other way, that's completely fine. The thing with it is, when you're referring to me, it is pronounced Trithard. If you're referring to anybody else in history, go for it. They won't be able to tell you it's wrong. So I have a little bit of history about this last name that I've pulled from the interwebs, so I'm going to link it down below. The first written record we have of a version of this name was seen in 1488 in Switzerland. Since then, the name has moved around. It's moved to Germany and Austria and as far away as Canada and the United States, and there is a long history with a family line that I'm not entirely sure if it's mine, but it's detailed on this page that had to go back to Switzerland, kind of World War II type of time. When I was a kid, I had people asking me this same question of what is your name and what does it mean, because you know, names like McDonald, we know that means son of Donald, and that's super easy. It wasn't as easy to figure out what Trithard meant. At the time, I remember looking it up and finding an obscure reference somewhere that told me that Trithard meant swift kick or hard step, which kind of sounded badass, especially when you put it together with the rest of my name. My first name means pure, my middle name means light, and my last name is swift kick. Pure light swift kick. But apparently in Old German, which could be a root for this name, Trud is Valkyrie, Harry is army, and Hart is strong. Valkyrie, army, strong? Are you serious? That's what my last name means? That's badass! There are other ways you can break this down and take pieces of the name and link them back to other words. One of these ways translates to the man who has strong love with his fellow people, which is also pretty badass. I either get to have a Valkyrie army or I get to be a really loving human, and I'm fine with either one of those descriptions. And finally, a way that will help you remember how to say my particular version of Trithard. When I was graduating from college, I had already been across the stage once and had my name mangled while I was accepting an award for having the highest GPA in my entire college. So when I was up on stage waiting for my turn to cross again, I leaned over to the person at the podium who was going to be reading the names, and they already looked kind of embarrassed. They looked like they knew that they hadn't said it right. So I lean over and say, so, Trithard, this is how I want you to remember it. Trit like wit, heart like fart. I even did a version of this in my very first video, except for I didn't want to start talking about farts on the internet quite that quickly, so trit like wit, heart like Hannah. Anything really. Schmidt schmart, quit quart, any version of those syllables smushed together, Trithard. Thank you for sitting through my video about how to pronounce my last name the way I like it and how it's also very subjective. If you have a weird last name and you know the root of it, tell me about it down in the comments below. On the way to the comments section, if you could hit that subscribe button, that would be very nice of you. And of course, you can like and share this as you see fit, and I'll see you later. Bye.